a lovely evening, Monday, the 10th of October 2022. And we are coming live as Ubuntu channel to bring to you a special edition of Ubuntu Sports because we've got only one item to discuss and we can't just leave it for any other day because it has happened today. We just have to discuss it today. And to help me do the analysis, I'm joined by Lawrence and other Ubuntu analysts. We are talking about Enoch Mwepi being forced to retire so early. He was just 24 years old. He's retired. Good evening, Lawrence. Good evening, Joseph. Welcome to special edition of Ubuntu Sports.
Thank you, Mr. Mulungu.
Good evening, Lawrence. How are you this day?
I'm very much okay, Reuben, and thank you for having me. Good evening to you and the viewers out there.
It was around 8-9 hours today, Lawrence, in the morning when you received the news coming from Brighton that Enoch Mwepu has been forced to retire due to a heart condition. How did you receive the news?
First and foremost, the first time I saw it on Twitter, I thought probably it's a prank. I had to open the Twitter feature from Brighton several times and verified that it was really coming from the Brighton, from the official Brighton. That was very interesting because to happen to Mwepu at this point in time. Remembering that not so long ago when Zambia was playing in Mali, we just thought it was just a usual illness as it was reported, and we thought it was going to be okay. And to receive this shocking news actually really drained me.
Great. You've talked about that friendly in Mali when we received the news that he was.
Reuben, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me now? Hi, Lawrence. Are you there? All right. It seems Lawrence seems to have...
Yes, I can hear you. I think there's just a slight lag in the communication. I can hear you.
Okay, great. Let me go to you, Joseph. Joseph, how did you receive the news and where were you when you received the news that Mwepu has been forced to retire?
Well, I was attending a workshop somewhere within Lusaka, and you know when we're on tea break and you want to see what's happening on your phone, then I checked on Ubuntu Sports channel. Lawrence had shared the screenshot of breaking news. So immediately I sent you a text, Reuben. Can you confirm what I've just seen in the group? And true to that, there was that breaking news. It was everywhere, and I think it's a sad day really for our country, for football in general. It's a very sad loss. A player who, at his peak of his career, shot like that. I think it's a very, very sad moment for the country. Yeah.
Sad indeed. Joseph, are you there? Right. It seems Joseph seemed to have a problem, but Lawrence is going to join us. So tonight we are discussing about the early retirement of Enoch Mwepu, the Chipolopolo captain. Lawrence, I'm sure you are back now. You talked about that incident that happened in Mali. That's where the problem actually started from. A lot of bandits in the country said that it was so fake. This wasn't real. You was just pretending. Also joining us, Lawrence, is Frederick. Frederick, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Thank you very much, Reuben. Good evening. How are you and how's everyone? Good evening, viewers.
Great. Frederick, we brought you in because I understand that you are good friends with Enoch Mwepu. How did you receive the news that he has been forced to retire so early because of the heart condition?
It's a very devastating news and a nightmare that I would really love to wake up from. But at the end of the day, we are Christians by faith, so all I can say is that God in the mountains is still God in the valley. Whatever has happened, and we never saw this coming, but it has happened, and there's nothing we can do about it. Just to allow the will of God to take its course, and we believe that our boy, the dreams haven't died, is a very ambitious guy, and he would be able to obviously venture into other avenues of football, like he has started in the statement, the official statement that he had released earlier on. But it's not something easy to accept. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But it has happened. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. It's like the old adage which states that life is an unfinished poem. Don't uh, don't go mad trying to figure out the ending. So it has ended, like I said, but otherwise, it's not something easy to accept. It's really a setback to Zambian football. That's what I believe. And just maybe trying to take a little bit back to what had presented or what had happened earlier. Enoch, Person Daka, there was the late Shangwe Kaladi. They grew up together, like in football, in terms of football. Of course, they were coming from different towns. Enoch was coming together from Chambisi with Changwe. Person was coming from Kitwe. So these three grew up together. Changwe died in 2017 after suffering that injury. I don't know if you can remember the time they were in an accident with, is it Nyambe Mlenga? Yeah. And then he suffered a spinal problem and died later on. So these were really good talents. So it's not something easy, but we do accept and we have allowed the will of God to prevail. Thank you very much.
Before you go, Mr. Frederick, did you communicate after receiving the news? Because I know you have good friends with Mwepu. Did you communicate with him after you received the news?
Never communicated because he wasn't in a position to really respond. Even some of the closest family members can testify that he wasn't in a state to conversate, even up to now. I'm sure you can understand it's a situation where you can't allow everyone is like trying to call him and find out how he's doing, what's really happening, and to get to know the news, to believe in it and everything. So I haven't communicated. I've already sent a message and everything. So I'm sure with time we'll be able, he will be able to get back. That's one thing I'm sure about, because he's, I just don't know, but such is life. That's what I can say. Yeah, he'll be able to get back to us probably.
Great. Let me come to you, Lawrence. You've heard from Frederick, that is personal friend to Mwepu. Lawrence, I want to get it from you. That people that are suggesting that maybe. Hi, Frederick.
Hello?
Can you mute your mic?
I'm trying to get the message. What I say?
Just try to mute your mic. We're getting some bad feedback from there. All right, Lawrence, let me come to you now. There are people that are suggesting that, look, there are people like Kanute, there are people like Ericsson that have was in the same situation like Mwepu, but they've been treated and are now playing football after getting a surgery, a heart surgery. Do you think Mwepu should go that same direction?
Well, it's these are health conditions. You can say today because someone I know was suffering from malaria and they got fined. So even me, if I get sick, I'll get fined. I think health conditions don't work like that. Yeah, probably I've seen this not only from local fans who have been commenting, but also from international fans. I think I've seen a comment from the Guardian from the UK in the newspaper Guardian, where they are actually saying probably there is still some hope for Mwepu, but you can't really put all eggs in that basket and think probably he'll come back or something like that. It's one thing that you cannot really count on. Probably there is some hope, but you cannot put all hopes in it. And I think I know it must be devastating for him, because being a professional footballer, playing football should be something that he loves. This should be also his means of livelihood, and it's being taken away from him just abrupt. So it has some psychological kind of effects. So if he is to put so much hopes that he can probably bounce back, and then things don't work out, I think it will be very bad for him as well. So the best is probably, from the statement that Brighton released in full, they actually specified in the comment to say, knowing that he's young and he's going towards the peak of his playing career, they decided to take as many opinions as possible from the doctors, but unfortunately, it seems there is nothing much they can do, because the condition seems is one type of a condition that becomes worse as he keeps on playing. So the best for him is to actually stop playing competitive football. But the key word here is competitive, meaning that there is a chance that he can still play some football, but he cannot play to that level where he has to play for trophies and things like that. Probably that is why the effects is. So there is some hope that we might see Mwepu playing football somehow, and we might see Mwepu also kind of participating in the game. Also, I think him being the captain of the national team, there is more ways he can also contribute to the team other than just being on the pitch as well. So we hope to see that even if things don't work out, we hope to see him participate in the running of the football affairs, and hopefully these are the things that probably the likes of Christopher Katongo, the former captain as well, should be taking part in, though we have not seen much of them in the recent past. So to say this one was treated and that one was treated, I think probably you might even find the conditions are even different from those. We were just told the heart, but the heart has got different kinds of conditions, and the statement itself has not even specified the kind of problem that Mwepu has, and that is where actually it leaves most of us behind, because we would love to know some of these things.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Lawrence. Now let's look at the Mwepu goals, or his entire career. Which one can you pick as one of his best goals?
I think the goal against versus Liverpool last season, that was just sublime. I can't forget that goal. Very sublime.
And I don't know if you heard from him. He used to say one of his dream is to play for Liverpool, and he scored against them in that match.
The dream was actually to play at Anfield, and he scored at Anfield. That's very, very good goal. I think he must be a very relieved man. He never got to play for Liverpool per se, but he scored one of the best goals ever scored at Anfield, honestly. And he should be a proud man. He should be proud of himself.
Yeah, we've talked about the goal, Lawrence. Let's have a look at it again. That goal, because that goal won as the best goal for Brighton last season, and he was given an award for it. Let's watch the goal again, then we'll meet on the other side.
What a goal that was. I know when you signed for the club, you said you always dreamed of playing at Anfield. So what was it like to score there?
I think it was special, really. I've always been dreaming to play at Anfield. And of course, scoring that beautiful goal was really, really special. And I will never forget that moment.
I remember when it went in, there were a few people saying, "Did you mean that?" You definitely meant it.
I definitely meant it.
We know you did. Look, how's your first season at Brighton been? Because it's been amazing to watch you.
I think it hasn't been really, I would say, not too bad and not too great. I've come in, come out on so many occasions, and that has been really impacted me, really. I came here positive that I'll have a great season. Obviously, it's a Premier League, but yeah, it didn't happen that way. But I'm really great that I had some really great moments when I came and helped the team in so many ways. So I'm really grateful for my performances, and of course from the players, the coaching staffs, the physios who helped me when I was doing my rehab. So I'm really, really grateful.
As you say, when you have been on the pitch, you've been so impressive, and that's why you've become such a quick fans' favourite. What do you want to say to the fans?
I think the fans have been brilliant. They have supported us, especially when we are not doing well. When we were losing games, they were all the time with us, giving us that energy all the time. So I think they deserve all the credit for this season. And I hope that they can see such incredible goals next season. And I hope another special goal for me next season.
Absolutely. Well, congrats.
Lawrence, there you have it. That was a goal against Liverpool. What a beautiful goal, and won as the best goal for Brighton last season.
Yeah, surely it deserves it. But I think it's very important that we make mention how well he performed as well for his previous team, that is Salzburg. He put in quite some great performances there, and together with his compatriot Patson Daka, and that is what prompted Brighton to fork out 20 million pounds for his services, and probably that should be one of the highest fees paid for a Zambian player because of the performances that he gave in for Salzburg. And it's even greater due to see how well he settled in the team so short within the season, and because it's normally normal for players to take probably 1 or 2 seasons to settle into a new league, but no.
Yeah.
Enoch settled in very efficiently and very well, and gave out a lot of assists, a lot of goals, and did put up a lot of brilliant performances every time he put on the Brighton shirt. And it's something that he should be proud of. It's something that actually a lot of young footballers out there back here home should look out for and aim to give out performances like that, because what has been happening is that in the past is would send players to Europe, and they'll start coming back slowly. From Europe, they'll cross into Africa, Egypt, or somewhere in North Africa there. You hear of them, they're in Congo, and finally they are back home. But Mwepu, actually, if this is how his career ends, he's ended it at the very highest level, at the very highest note, and probably it fits into the description of ending the show while the crowd is still clapping for you.
Yeah, I agree. Lawrence, let's look at a bit of his senior career. So he started his senior career. He joined Napsa Stars from 2016 to 2017. Then that's when he left, went and joined Kafue Celtics. After Kafue Celtics, he was signed by Salzburg, where he played 81 matches, scoring 11 goals, and then went on loan in 2017, 2018. This was a time also when he was playing in the under-20. He joined Liefren on loan and played 23 games, scoring 6 goals. Then 2021 up to 2022, he joined Brighton, and he has played 24 games in the Premier League. Lawrence, that's good of him. Unfortunately, the career couldn't his condition couldn't allow him to play for more games. But let's put it on record that he's the second Zambian to score a goal in the English Premier League, Lawrence.
Second Zambian, right just after his friend Patson Daka. And all this happened in one season. We had the first goal by Zambia in the Premier League, and just I think a week later or so, when Enoch Mwepu scored his first goal. It's these two, have come from way back together, like Alfred had put it, and to see them actually even the message that Patson Daka wrote to his friend was something that really even moved me. And one line that I can I can recall from that statement is, we make plans and God makes plans, but God is the best planner. That is a message that Enoch should take home, because our plans are not God's plans, and probably God still has a plan for him somewhere else. Probably God still has a plan for him to play. It's something that it's what if we're still exploring so much, we still keep the hope and still keep the faith that he might play again.
Exactly. So let's just run through of the events that took place today. The first news was released by Brighton that Enoch cannot continue playing because of the heart condition. Then what happened later on, Lawrence?
Then there was a little bit of a frenzy, and we probably didn't know exactly what was happening and all that. While we're still trying to digest that, and we saw a statement being released from Enoch Mwepu, a statement which also acted as a confirmation to the news, and thereafter we started receiving follow-up messages. Then I think about 30 minutes or so later, I saw a breaking news, that yellow line on Sky Sports News, that yellow breaking news line, and it appeared on Twitter at some point, and then this was the big story that they were showing. And then from there, we've seen some reactions where the Football Association of Zambia has reacted. We've seen a reaction from the Minister of Sports. We've also seen a reaction from the President himself. And well, the whole country has reacted, and what actually comes up now is fans seeming to take a swipe at those who championed the notion that probably Enoch just didn't want to play the friendlies in Mali, and was just pretending to be sick. And the fans were taking swipes against individuals that were championing such statements and such kind of actions. And we've seen one of such individuals even apologizing and claiming it's just that they didn't trust Faz, who released the statement. Otherwise, they didn't know that these things were this bad. So it's quite been an eventful day in the world of sports, in Zambia especially, Brighton especially. I think a lot of Brighton fans have communicated on Twitter, expressed sadness, and
Actually,
it's something
they're
that
buying Zambian flags now. I've started buying Zambian flags in support of Enoch Mwepu.
Yeah. It's the support is very overwhelming right now, and I just hope they have got a good supply of Zambian flags back there. If they want, we can ship some to them.
I was
But
thinking maybe first should ship the copper jerseys to Brighton.
We hope so, and actually, I anticipate to see a good number of Enoch Mwepu jerseys, especially in the next game they'll play. I expect the fans to probably have some Zambian jerseys, Zambian scarves, or probably Enoch Mwepu jerseys and the like. It's what I expect, because our compatriots that side, the people from England, they really take some of these things very serious, and when they mean to pay respect to a player, they really know how to do it.
All right. Thank you very much. So this was the first news that we received. Enoch Mwepu has been forced to end his playing career following the diagnosis of a hereditary heart condition. So this was the first news that we received. Then Mwepu reacted to the same news. Yeah, the press release on his official Facebook page. If my director can just go give us the letter that yes. So this was what Mwepu reacted to, and let me just read it through. A boy from a small Zambian township got Chambishi has some news to share. He stood strong to follow his dream of playing football at the highest level, and by the grace of God, he lived his dream by reaching the Premier League. Some dreams, however, come to an end. So it is with sadness that I announce the need to hang up my boots because of the medical advice I've received. This is, however, not the end of my involvement with football. I plan to stay involved in some capacity. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that supported me in my football journey, including my wife, family, my agent 12-man, the Zambian FA, all my previous clubs, teammates, and coaches, especially everyone at Brighton and at Brighton Hoven. Enoch Mwepu. That was his press release, and it was released on his official Facebook page. Lawrence, one line that is keep on running in my mind is where he says, "This is, however, not the end of my involvement with football. I plan to stay involved in some capacity." What do you think, or which role can he take in football?
There are many roles he can take, not only in football. Football-wise, probably he still can be a coach. He can be a midfield coach. He can help a lot of young midfielders out there with a lot of things, with a lot of the knowledge that is gathered in the Premier League. He can help a lot. He can also be a football ambassador for this country, where he can move to many places and champion the game. They encourage many young boys and girls to participate in the game. Share his story to motivate that young boy, that young girl who dreams of playing football at the highest level like him. He can do that. There are many roles that he can play. He's still an asset, especially to this country.
All right, and all this has happened when he was the national team captain, Lawrence. Unfortunately, we don't have a coach, but he was still the captain for the national team. What a blow for the Chipolo Polo.
Wow, if it's Chipolo Polo, honestly speaking, I think this man, at 24 years to captain your national team, it's not something very small. Come on, let's give 1 hour its due. To be 24 years and captaining your national side is something that is very rare, but this guy has taken it up. He's put in very good performances in the national team. He has been a leader in the national team, and to lose him just like that actually is something that devastates the national team as a whole. You look at a team that is trying to push and recover from all the setbacks that it's gone through through the just recent past years, and things have not been okay for Zambian football. And he was one of the hope for the team, together with Patson Daka. These were the two players that we mostly counted on and felt they're able to take us somewhere. They're able to move us to some place. And then this news just ends everything, shatters everything for us. It's really bad news. News that we are still trying to digest up to now. Even though we've had this news throughout the day, but we are still trying to digest it.
All right, Lawrence, we're being joined by Mr. Abia in the studios, all the way from the Eastern Province. Mr. Abia, good evening. Welcome to a special edition of Ubuntu Sports, and we're discussing about the retirement of Enoch Mwepu. Good evening. How did you receive the news?
Good evening, Reuben. Good evening, Lawrence. The news has not come at the right time. It's a sudden news. It's really sad to see our boy at a young age to retire just like that. But sometimes health issues are health issues. You can't do anything sometimes. As for Mwepu, others they are saying no, she can go for extra surgical, just the way our friend from Africa did and the other Ericsson did. But we have to learn something that health issues, they come in a different way, especially like the situation Enoch Mwepu is in. If you understand the disease that attacked Christian Eriksen, is a cardiac arrest, where you just fall and the blood stop working, then you need to receive treatment immediately. And the disease that has just attacked our boy is a different one to the erection. So the doctors, specialized doctors for Enoch Mebu, has advised him to do so. That means it is the only way that can help him to spare his life. So it's really sad that our boy is going to retire at a 24 age. It's very young, and to be captained the national team at the age of 24. Yeah, it was really a plus for us, because we know that this is why the boy was called a computer. It was not called a computer by nothing. He was called a computer Enoch Mebu for something, and he proved it before he came at Brighton. He was at Red Bull Salzburg. He showed there that I remember one time when Salzburg was playing Bayern Munich, the guy played so well. This is why the other club got interested in him, and unfortunately he landed at Brighton. He started his future brightly. I can even remember the goal he scored against Liverpool. It was phenomenal, and it was awarded as a goal of the season for Brighton. And I don't forget also the goal that he scored against my team, Arsenal. I remember last season when we fought down 2-1 to them. The guy who scored the second goal, the guy was really prolific, and he knows how to attack. He knows how to do his work as a midfielder. So it's really loss for Zambian football to lose the boy. But as for me, as a soccer analyst and a soccer fan, I would rather encourage him not to lose hope, because here and there he will be involved in football, though not in the pitch. So he has to concentrate to his family and his health, then he can see where to start.
Mr. Frederick, let me come to you. I know you're also affected.
I think that's my opinion for now.
Thanks. Let me go to Mr. Frederick. Mr. Frederick, I know you're also affected by this news. In Mwepu's statement, he said he still wants to continue being involved in football. In what role or what capacity can he still participate in the game of football?
Thank you very much, Reuben. Are you able to get me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. So, in my own opinion, knowing Mwepu in and out, knowing him, having grown up with him and what, aside from being a football brilliant, is actually someone who can take up an administrative role. Yes, in where Zambian football fraternity, or even where maybe Salzburg, I don't know if you have checked their page. It's like they are still considering him as family, as someone who can offer advice. He was a captain. Being a captain doesn't just involve playing, but it also involves critical decision making. So he can take up that role of being an administrator or chipping in, whether fars or anywhere else. Like the previous speaker is just from saying, you know, it's a matter of staying focused and not losing hope. So not all hope is lost for him. Actually, he can do better things and he can achieve a lot in Zambian football, in making sure that Zambian football goes to the next level, because the same passion that he has is able to identify people that can do better in different roles. So he can still work. He's able. It's on the physique part. I've seen one of the comments which was suggesting that no, you don't have a heart specialist. You are just discussing issue. But we are here to discuss issues pertaining to the resignation, not really his condition, because you, Reuben, knows that by the virtue of our oath, we cannot discuss the condition in detail, like starting to analyze the condition, to give different statements according to what we had started. No, we are discussing just the resignation, that the impact it would have on Zambian football. So knowing that the person, it's not issue to do with psychology, mental aspect and what, the person is still fit to play a very, very, very big role in Zambian football, whereas decision making is concerned. So he can still fit, but of course it's a matter of staying focused, of course sticking on to Zambian football and being there, very available to do what, to see what he can do rather. Yeah, so I still believe that he can take up a very, 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 very big role in contributing to Zambian football, apart from him being there on the pitch as one of the 11 boys there on the pitch. So that's my opinion. I think he can take up an administrative role. It can be a top job first, because this time the problem is that we think when we say administrative, we are only talking about being a first president. Of course, that can come in the future, but he can be there on the advisory board and technical bench, some kind of course.
Right.
So that's my thought.
Earlier on, you told us that you sent him a message because you didn't call him because of the condition, but you sent him a message. You want to know exactly what is it that you communicated to him.
The message actually, receiving the news, the fact that the person cannot tell you the news, it's like a kind of news of very, very, very big setback. So in my message, I was just trying to advise him, I'm not boasting, but coming from a Christian background, I do understand we undergo certain level of setbacks that we cannot even understand ourselves. So the message that I sent to him was just to strengthen him. It was just to strengthen him and wishing well and making sure that he knows that we are behind him. Despite whatever that has happened, there's nothing that we can do. It's only God who does the impossibles. But for us as human beings, we have left everything in the hands of God. All the questions, all the situation, whatever that will come up, the stories from where and where. If God has willed, then it will be. If it means that he will come back again, because like I said earlier on also, is that we are not believing that the dream has died, and just accepting that the career has ended like that is something not easy to do. So I sent him a message just to encourage him. Yeah.
Thank you very much, gents. Let me give you your time to conclude on this story, because we need to come again on Friday when you have the Ubuntu Sports. Just today, we just wanted to confirm to our viewers that indeed Enoch Mapo has retired. Your last words. Let me start from you, Lawrence.
Well, it's sad news, yeah, but we just have to soldier on, and we want to wish. I personally want to wish Enoch Mwepu all the best, and I hope that he pulls through. Let him just take this as a stepping stone to something else. It's not the end of the road. It's just a redirection. That's how we should look at this. Going forward, we hope that we shall see Faz incorporate him in some roles if really it is confirmed he can't play. We would love to see Faz incorporate him in some roles so that we do not write him completely off, because remember, this is the second Zambian to score a goal in the Premier League, and we need to make sure that some of these names don't just die out like that. let's make sure that Patson Daka, Enoch Mwepu, these guys, their names are engraved in the history of this country, in the football history of this country, so that even generations to come should be able to look at and the aim to say, we want to be like Enoch, we want to be like Patson. And I hope Faz really considers this. This is a very earnest plea. And going forward also, we hope that as a people we shall give him the support that he deserves. Let us cheer on the Brighton fans as they give him the support that he deserves. Probably from the rumors that we are getting is that he will be at the stadium for the last time to bid his farewell to the fans, and that's on the next home game. I'm meant to understand, and as if that really happens, let us all show support, especially on social media and all that, so that even the fans who are in the stadium giving him support should know that we are with them. I think that's where I would end.
Thank you very much. Mr. Abia, your last words, your concluding remarks. Enoch Mwepu has been forced to retire.
It's really sad. We have tried in the past to send players in the Premier League. They have failed to perform. This guy was one of the guys that has performed in the Premier League and do wonders in the Premier League. It's really sad for Zambian football that we are not going to see Enoch Mwepu in the pitch again. My emphasis now is going to the soccer fans across the country. Next time, if we hear the news that this kind of player has failed to play for Zambia just because of sickness, let's believe that story, because we are not there in the camp to see the reality. Let's not criticize to say these guys are shining to play for Mother Zambia, for Chipolopolo. A lot of criticism were there on social media for not respecting our own players. So please, let's support each other, starting here from home. And these guys, they are being supported outside there. Let's show them love and unity here in their home country. Not know everything criticizing. It's not good. We criticize our own dancers. Later on, the CAF release the statement that causes that problem. So each and every human error has its effect. So let's not criticize. Please, let's love one another. Zambia is a united country. We love unity, peace, and tranquility. So let's show it in football as well. Thank you so much for the viewers. Let's pray for Enoch Mwepu for the better future. Thank you.
Thanks. And last but not least, let me go up to you, Frederick, your last words as we close this program.
Yes, Mr. Reuben, thanks very much for the privilege. What I would want to say maybe is a little bit react to the previous speaker, where he's saying that the fans should believe whatever report that is brought in. On the other hand, I would also love to raise a concern to say FAS somehow hasn't been sincere and consistent in communicating. Because if they have, people would have believed in the news. But because of the same records that have been there, the reputation somehow contributed to the people not believing in the news. I'm not speaking in bad faith or saying that I was maybe saying also that there is maybe Enoch and person maybe have grown big-headed, but I wasn't believing in the news that it is real that the two were unable to play in the previous friendly match. But this is when everything has come into light. I understand there is a little bit aspect confidentiality where dealing with the public is concerned, but there are certain kind of information that fans shouldn't be keeping away from the fans. Not the Enoch Mwepu issue, but the previous issues. So even when they were trying to conceal this issue, people were finding difficult to believe. So fans should do something about that. And concerning my last remarks, I can say being a Christian and knowing Enoch Mwepu that he has believed in Bola na Lesa, meaning he acknowledges that. What I can say is that it's like some 16 verse 9. Oh, I mean Proverbs, sorry. The book of Proverbs 16 verse 9 is that many are man's plans, but God plans his ways and establishes the steps. So we might have planned, we had that picture of we were playing for the World Cup and in the Africa Cup, and then but God planned for him as well. Hence, it's to acknowledge the plan of God and respect God's will. But I do wish him, and I still do believe that he will achieve greater things, even being in the advisory body, the technical bench, and anyway. I do wish him the best in his future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, gents. We've come to the end of our program. This was a special edition of Ubuntu Sports. Join us again on Friday as we bring to you a new edition of Ubuntu Sports, because on that day we've got a bone to chew with Mr. Abia, because Nkana lost. Lawrence will be happy on that day because Musa won. So join us again on Friday as we bring to you Ubuntu Sports. For now, it's good night.
All right, good night. Thank you very much. It's been a prayer.
Good night, my former Ghana fan, now Musa FC fan, Lawrence.
Musa!
You remember what I did?